Hey guys, welcome back. So I have intentions of going on a trail ride tomorrow with some friends, but I've been smelling a burning oil smell from the Tacoma the last couple of trips out, and it looks like I got a leak in valve cover. So today I'm gonna try and get that taken care of so that tomorrow we can get out and have some fun. So this is what the engine bay looks like when it's not filled with snow. Instead it's filthy, but it shouldn't be too bad of a job. We got to remove our HPS intake pipe that we put on, undo the coils, get those out of there, pull back the wiring harnesses, pop the valve cover. Hopefully it won't go too bad. Let's get started. Okay, got all the coil packs unplugged. Disconnected the wire for the EGR valve stuff, so we can pull all that off to the side once we're ready. Now we're gonna grab my little pickle fork tool and we'll pull the wiring harnesses out of where they're snapped to the valve cover itself. It's got like these little zip ties with the plug that are snapped in. So we'll go around and pop all those loose and then see what's next. Okay, so I've gotten the wiring harness popped out of all those brackets all the way around. Now we'll take our 10mm and we will undo the coil packs and that little vacuum solenoid. And then I think we'll be able to lift the valve cover off. I guess we'll see. All right, so there is a vacuum tube or something hooked to the back of the intake or the valve cover back there. Just got a spring-loaded clamp. I was able to squeeze them with my fingers and then push that off with a flathead screwdriver, pushed it back a little bit. It is attached. The other piece of section of tubing right there is actually metal. So I did kind of put something on there and push that back a little bit just to give us some clearance. And then loosened up all the 10mm bolts that are holding the valve cover. So there's two by every spark plug hole, and then there's a bunch around the perimeter. So I'm gonna get all those pulled off and then see if we can fish this thing out of here. This may be easier. It's only a couple of wires. I'm actually probably gonna disconnect these last couple of wires and slide the harness off to the driver's side of the engine bay. There's a couple going to the alternator and then one going to the mass airflow sensor. But I think that'll really give us some more room to move here in the front. So we're gonna do that quick. So got all the bolts out. There's a couple of studs. Make sure you put them in a magnetic tray so you don't lose them. But yeah, there was a couple of studs. It must be to help locate it when you go to put it back together. But all that stuff is out. So now we'll lift the valve cover out of here and get it cleaned up. See if we can put a new one on. Okay, so get the valve cover off. We're gonna try and get everything cleaned up under here, being extremely careful not to drop anything down into the motor. Try to keep all the crap out as much as possible. And then just judging, I mean, this doesn't look super bad. I've definitely seen worse engines as far as like, you know, sludge and grossness. It's a couple 100,000 mile engine. I don't think this looks too bad. I think I got just short of 204,000 miles on it now, or maybe just a touch over 204,000 miles on it. And I got big plans for taking this thing places, so we want to keep the longevity up as best we can. So I think I figured out part of my problem. At 200,000 miles, what should be a rubber valve cover gasket is just breaking apart. It's just rock hard and brittle. So now I'm gonna go through the fun of trying to pick all that stuff out of that groove, getting the valve cover all cleaned up. And yeah, we will put the new one in and get her put back together sometime today. Ta-da! Cleaned up. Let's put this thing back together. And we're back in and tight. So if you notice when you took it apart, all of the sleeves had like a metal piece in, or all the bolt holes had a metal sleeve piece in them. So you can't over tighten it per se. Obviously you don't want to break the bolts off because that'll make you have a really bad day, but I'm just using this little tiny like 3-inch ratchet and you know, just getting them snug with that. I'm sure there's a torque spec and somebody probably really cares, but I'm not that guy. This ain't that truck. We're just getting it done. So now we'll bolt our alternator wire back on, get our wiring harness snapped back into place, and then we'll wipe off the coils, get those cleaned up, get those put back in and bolted down. And yeah, keep plugging forward. I am going to, while I have it apart, clean the throttle body plate because I'm there, it's open. Be dumb to not. And with any luck, when you're all done, it'll look like when you started, except maybe a little bit cleaner and not leaking oil. That'll be a bonus. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. Anytime you're in there, always a good idea, check all your fluids, take a look at your serpentine belt, you know, general maintenance stuff. Let's keep these Toyotas on the road.